everyone, it's Miss Adinsky. I am going to show you guys what my sample response would be to the Lion King characterization assessment that we're working on today. So I'm first going to start by reading the instructions just so I know exactly what the question is asking me to do. So choose one of the following characters from the Lion King and analyze how she or he develops over the course of the film. So I can choose Simba, Scar, Mufasa, Sarabi, Nala, Pumbaa, or Timon. Specifically include how the character is at the beginning of the film and how the character is at the end of the film. You directly reference at least two specific scenes from the film, so you have to remember to do that. Your answer should be as long as it needs to be and at least one paragraph. Please remember to indent your paragraph or paragraphs. So the first thing I'm going to do is just tab so that I make sure I remember to indent. And I'm thinking that I'm probably going to write my analysis on Simba. I just feel the most comfortable with him. And what I want to do, just like in Racer, is use as many words and phrases from the prompt as possible, the R in Racer. So I'm going to start by saying that Simba is a character in Disney's The Lion King. You always want to reference the title. And in the instructions, they italicized the movie title, so I'm going to do that as well. Simba is a character in Disney's The Lion King who develops immensely over the course of the film. Okay, so I used a character in The Lion King who develops immensely over the course of the film, just like they did in the prompt. So I'm going to start with how Simba is at the beginning of the film. So Simba begins the film as a young, playful, mischievous cub who cannot seem to keep himself out of trouble. Okay. And now I know the instructions say that I have to reference a scene of the film for support. So, an example of Simba being a mischievous cub is at the beginning of the film. Let's be clear about that. When he disobeys his father's rule and goes into the shadowy lands outside of Pride Rock. While he is frolicking around the elephant graveyard, okay, in the shadowy lands, Simba stumbles upon the evil hyenas. Let's fix the graveyard. Hyenas. Okay. These hyenas who will most likely try to kill him. Simba's father, Mufasa, finds out where he is and runs to his rescue. As Simba and Mufasa are walking home, Mufasa expresses his disappointment in Simba. Simba responds that he was merely trying to be brave, but Mufasa tells him that it is only important to be brave when he has to be. So I think I pretty much described what event displays that Simba was mischievous as a cub. And now I want to talk about how Simba is at the end of the film. I can't forget that, and I have to provide an example of that too. So I'm going to say that Mufasa's advice sticks with Simba for the rest of his life, and he grows up to be a strong, dedicated leader of Pride Rock. Now, at first I want to say you can see, but in formal writing we never want to put the word you. So I'm going to say one can see that Simba becomes a strong, dedicated leader by the way he talks to and takes care of all of the animals in the Pride Lands. Now, I want to make sure, after I've given my example of how Simba changes into a strong, dedicated leader, I really want to reiterate that to my reader. And I want to use a closing sentence that really will hit home with the reader. And so I'm just going to make it really clear and restate that over the course of the film, Simba transforms from a playful, mischievous cub into a responsible, strong leader of the Pride Lands. And before I submit my response, I'm going to reread and revise any mistakes that I